dropping 50 for the first time in front of 50 Cent. That's greatness, and that's Anthony Edwards. In a game that was not categorized by greatness, for a lot of it, Anthony Edwards was the steady hand throughout that game. Not one of the shocking ones where you think this is going to be a career high game where he has ultimately explosive quarters, but he was steady through that entire game. You see everything kind of clicking for him. The jump shot comes back in this one, 6 of 11 from 3, getting all types of fantastic drives, especially with the left hand, some really impressive ones. And then also finally get some respect from the Sucks to get 11 free throw attempts in this game, which would make all of them. Also still some disrespect from the Sucks as he picks up his 14th technical of the season, tying him for the most technicals in the NBA with Luka and Dylan Brooks, 2 away from a 1-game suspension. But we don't need to spend too much time on that. This is happy vibes, good vibes from Anthony Edwards. But I say this was a game not categorized by greatness for a lot of it because we were playing the Wizards, who we beat by 9 at home. But the Wizards are probably the team with the least talented roster in the NBA when healthy, and they were far from that in this game. They don't even have a center playing in this game. We were missing a center, Karl Anthony Towns, and then Naz Reid, who got ejected after 8 minutes, as we had a nightmare first quarter in which the Wizards would go up by 21 points. We'd give up the most points of any quarter all season with 44 to the Wizards. They were making all types of threes. We had no urgency closing out on their perimeter shooters, and our defense was just super lax outside there. But it was not lax out of Rudy Gobert, who was just dominant all night long. That's the word I use every video for this guy. But he's got 4 blocks in the first half, really made that a more physical game and started to turn things around, along with the rejuvenation of perimeter defense and the antidote to trap games, Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Jordan McLaughlin. Nickeil especially has 18 points in that first half, gets 14 shots in the first half. It's rare he gets that many for a game, and was just filling it up. Hits, I think, all 4 of his threes in that first half, if I remember correctly. Also has 4 stocks in this game, bringing up the defensive pressure, just pestering people like crazy. He's getting a lot more physical on defense as well, and just becoming such an impressive player. His energy's always there, and he's still extremely skilled, lengthy, talented, and that's why he can still really elevate you in these trap games, because he's more skilled than the people that are grinding at his level, and it's just a real luxury to have one of those players that stops you from getting these ugly losses that could happen. What happened a lot of last year when Nickeil was a less consistent player, although I'm not going to pin the terrible losses of last season on him, it's that we don't get those this year. We've had these horrible first quarters over and over, and it feels like most games we only put together a half or less of good basketball. But we always respond, this team. And you know there's going to be a stretch of the game where we just tighten up so suffocatingly on defense that we're going to be able to make a run, get back in the game, and pull it out a lot of times. And it's a really refreshing change from last season. There was talk on the broadcast of how Rudy Gobert, some players you're like, oh, that's someone that's going to go win you a game. He's someone that's going to make it so you don't lose throughout the season. And his steady defensive play has really brought that, as well as clutch time defense. I feel like he's the best clutch time defender there is. He really locks people down. And I trust him against a huge array of players at this point with how good his perimeter defense has got and his ability to defend in ISO situations. And then Ant can take over now. His defense has come along a lot as well. And the bench boys of Jordan McLaughlin, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, giving us a jolt of energy. The ultimate hustle from J-Mac over and over. 7 assists, 0 turnovers. I think 5 of those assists might have been for threes as well, which were huge momentum plays, well needed for this team. Also, we've got a back-to-back tomorrow. This is the big game that's really getting hyped up as we play against Denver, who is our main competition for the 1 seed in the Western Conference with just 3 games remaining. We are playing them, both teams on back-to-backs in Denver. And at least we'll have Naz Reid rested, him only playing 8 minutes in this game. And Anthony Edwards, maybe he's going to be vibing all those jumpers going down 51-point game. Hopefully we can secure the win against Denver. That would go miles in Mile High for us getting the 1 seed. And that's it. I mean, we beat the Wizards. They sincerely suck. We should have. It probably shouldn't have been as close as it was most of this game. But you just got to feel grateful that we don't continue to drop and drop and drop these really ugly games like we did last season. It is so different, so much better for my soul. Let's go Wolves. Regular season almost over. Biggest game of the season tomorrow. I'll catch you up on it.